Hey everybody, welcome. It's Friday. If you're like, wow, that was a quiet opening for you. Yeah, I was kind of embarrassed when I listened to my last video because I was like, yeah, and then when it just kind of came on auto played, when I look back later on, I was like, oh my god, take it down a notch, Andy. And so I'm listening to my own advice. Guys, welcome, Jennifer. It's good to see everybody. I get little notifications about people who are watching, and so hello, come on in. Let me know where you're watching from today. Guys, I got more stuff in the mailbag. Let me start off with an apology. I told you guys that if you asked me questions, I would try to answer them, and I'm really trying to do it like on Fridays. This is the first week of school for my kids. It is pandemonium over here. It's last week was like panic time going in, and so I have not been as regular answering questions as I want to, but I want to. I really do enjoy this, and so if you guys like this, just ask me questions in the comments, and I promise to keep trying to answer. Hey, Sarah from Sandy Springs, Georgia, you're just down the road. Tamara's from Winnipeg. I went to Winnipeg one time in February, and they call it Winterpeg, and it was February. And I'm in South Carolina, and it was warm here, and I forgot my coat in the car, and it was minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit in Winnipeg. I've never experienced cold like that. And so it was beautiful. It was a lovely place that I saw from the hotel because I didn't go outside because I would freeze into an ice cube. Cool, Central New York. God, New York State is so beautiful. People think of New York City. New York State is amazing. All right, guys, oh, help me with burnout. Oh, buddy, I could talk about that. I talk about that a lot. Yeah, Sarah, I'll do another video, and we'll do some burnout stuff. Because that stuff is super important. I can't really get into it. I want to do the one I set out to do today. I got a question in the comments of a recent video from a 2020 vet school graduate. So they're about 1 year out, and they're looking for another job. And their question was, I'm looking for a new job, and I was wondering if you have any advice. I feel like the majority of positions are not posted online and just word of mouth. I've been considering cold calling practices, but wanted to ask your opinion on this, and if you have any advice as to how to go about it. All right, cool. I totally do. All right. Let me begin at the beginning. Most jobs are really not advertised all that much. There's a lot of great practices that are looking for a lot of people. So first of all, let me just say, if you're thinking about a new job, now is a great time. There are a lot of wonderful practices out there. But remember, the grass is not always greener on the other side. There's a lot of people who work at great practices who maybe haven't worked at other practices, and they're like, I need to go somewhere else. And I'm like, no, you don't. This is really great. Like, what you're worried about is real minor compared to other places. So just know that's a thing. But if you're in a place and you're like, I don't like it here, or you're burning out and you're like, I'm not getting what I need here. Number one, just know that that's okay, right? I always think about life in stages, right? I think a lot of us feel like we're like, I came here and I said I was going to work here, and if I leave, then that's failure. I'm like, no, it's not. That's not failure. That's like you came and you did the thing and you did good work, hopefully. I want you to do good work. If you came and you did good work, then you did the thing you said you were going to do. And it's not wrong to say, well, what am I going to do next? And the other thing I see is people are like, what am I going to do next? Because that's going to be the thing I'm going to do forever. And I'm like, good God, how much pressure can you put on yourself? You don't need that pressure. It's a 1-year contract. What are you going to do next year? And then go do that. And don't put so much pressure on yourself, for God's sakes. Take it easy, right? Find your way, explore, live your life. Feel good about where you are. You've earned it. And so anyway, if you're looking for a change, now's a great time for a change, okay? So start with that. Number two, a lot of great places don't really advertise a whole lot. You know why? Because they take care of their staff, and they retain their staff, and they keep their staff. And so they don't beat the drum to hire new people. And that doesn't mean that people who do advertise aren't great practices. I know a lot of fantastic practices that, they're trying to grow, and they're wonderful, and they're growing, and so they're hiring people. But anyway, there are a lot that don't post. And so one of the big things that I say, especially to vets, but it's also true for your techs. There's so many tech associations now and tech conferences and local tech CE and things like that. You should be a part of that, man. Be a part of the vet community. I think a lot of us are just like, we're in our practice. And we're like, I don't talk to other practices. I don't know people in other practices. I don't like people in other practices. And I'm like, stop it. Vets are great. Vet techs are great. We have a great community. This is not a hyper competitive field, and it shouldn't be. We all got more work than we can do. Let's be friends. Let's help each other. And so, go to the meetings, and when you get there, meet some people. Say hi. Go to some lectures. If you see somebody who's a doctor who's lecturing at your local CE event, go tell them that you enjoyed their lecture and say thanks. And that, that's all you got to do. But just start to get connected and know some people. There's there's job ads going up in the comments. It's a great time to look for work. But just go meet people, and you're right. And when you do, especially if you're tech, you go to tech school and you stay in the area, stay in touch with your friends from tech school. Like, those people are great. And if somebody's like, I love my job, that's good to know. You want to know that, all right? And so you want to be able to reach out. Big things for me on getting a job. I think people oftentimes freak out about the wrong stuff. I think a lot of times they're like, who's going to pay me the most money? And I'm like, look, life is not about money. That doesn't mean that you don't need to have your needs met. You do. You need to be honest about what you need to live. But I will tell you, some of the things that people latch on to are like, how much money am I going to make? How nice is the practice? How many techs per doctor do they have? How nice is their equipment? How nice is their facility? And I will tell you, I think that's the wrong stuff to focus on, honestly, in my experience. I remember when I graduated from vet school, I thought the biggest, swankiest hospitals those were the best. And what I came to find out is there's a lot of great hospitals. There's a lot of hospitals that have really swanky things because they run great businesses and they take care of their people and they're really, really good. There's also a lot of practices that aren't super swanky hospitals, but God, they're wonderful places to work. And there are good people there. I remember one of my favorite jobs. I'm so blessed to have a great job right now. I love it where I am. I've been generally lucky throughout my career working in great places. One of my favorite places that I really loved was in this dumpy little building that's kind of beside the road. It was like built with stone. It was way out of date, but they couldn't update it because it wouldn't meet new building standards. So it was this dumpy little place. I loved it. I was so happy there, guys. The people were wonderful. We laughed just all day. It was just a happy, fun place to be, and I just have such wonderful memories. And what made it for me was, and this is the next part, go and visit. Like, working interviews, if you can do them, that stuff really matters. Get in there, see how you feel, see the culture. Do these people like each other? Do they laugh? Are they doing good work? Right? Are they doing medicine that they're proud of, that you would be proud of? That stuff really, really matters. That's the stuff that, that's important. Other things I like to see is, like, especially as a doctor going in, I always do a work interview as a doctor, like always, right? Go in, see the place. Ideally, I want to go on like a Monday or a Friday, and the practices usually don't want you to come on Monday or Friday. It's just because they're really, really busy. That's why I want to be there. I want to be there when everything is on fire and things are going crazy, because if people start snapping and yelling at each other, I want to see it, because that tells me, like, oh, this is them on their best behavior because a possible job hire is here and I'm still seeing stuff like this. That's a big, big flag for me. And so I don't want to be there. But I love to be there. And I've been there, and things are they're hustling and just busting butt, and they like each other and they're treating each other nicely and communicating well. That stuff matters. Like, that's the jam. That's what I'm looking for. And so, how does it feel? As a doctor, I think one of the mistakes that doctors make is not talking to the support staff. When you're interviewing, when you're thinking about going someplace, man, the support staff are your friends. Even if you don't work there, they're your friends. And so ask them, how do you like working here? How long you been here? And that's a big one, right? Because I'm looking for staff turnover. I don't want to work at a place where, especially my support staff, is just turning over all the time. And we all go through turnover times, and there's times that we have to get. We have to get people retrained or things like that. It's not, none of this stuff is deal breaker. But if I go and none of my techs have been working there for more than 6-9 months, I wonder, I wonder why I pay attention to that, because I want good techs. I want trained techs. I want techs that are going to be stable and be there. So I'm looking, those are things that are just important to me, right? A lot of it is knowing what your core values are. Like, what do you want in practice? It's funny, again, I go back to people looking at, like, the swankiest practice and saying that's the best. If your core value is I want to practice the best medicine, then going to a place that has the best equipment kind of makes some sense. If your core value is I want to provide, I want to be part of this community and support the community and support them at a place, that they can afford, and to get care for people who maybe don't have a lot of money. That's a great core value. But there this might not be the right practice for you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's not, again, it's not wrong. It's about what you value and what you want to get out of this career and out of this life. And so the more you kind of know that about yourself, the easier it is to kind of find what matters. You know, sort of the big thing I said at the very beginning for a lot of vets, they're like, I need to find the next place and it needs to be the best place. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's a 1-year contract. Pay attention, look at your restrictive covenant, look at your do not compete clause, and look at how you give notice if and when you want to leave, and make sure that those things are above board and you feel okay about them. And then it's a 1-year contract. And then you should go and you should work real hard and you should do your best and you should do what you say you're going to do. And after that, you'll either stay there or you'll go somewhere else and it'll be fine. But don't put so much pressure on yourself that you have to have the perfect thing. The perfect job comes from relationships, really. You know, a lot of it does. Someone asked in the comments, what's the perfect doctor-staff ratio? You know, I used to have an answer for that, and I threw it away. And here's why. Because I have, it depends on what kind of practice you're working in and what kind of medicine you want to practice. I have worked in practices that have 3 or 4 techs per doctor. And that's great, and you can see a lot of cases, and you can go really fast and do a lot of stuff, and you can make good money that way. And that's really great. I have also seen hospice care vets and house call vets that have 0 or 1 technicians, and they are having the career that they want to have, and they make great money, and they're doing work in people's houses, and that's just wonderful. And so I've really come to believe, you know, I have worked in practices that have 2 techs in the room with me at the same time. So it's me and 2 techs all the way down to me working by myself in the room. And I can't say that the way I feel about the practice is ultimately any different. The way I work is different, but they're just different cultures. And they were serving different clienteles and different caseloads. And I was happy in all of them. And so, yeah, it really does depend on kind of what you're trying to do. I know that's more of a wishy-washy answer than me saying 4. The answer is 4. But the truth is, I've seen it be wonderful in a lot of different ways. Cool. I work at a hospital that has 1 tech, 1 doctor, 1 CSR that goes super smoothly. I also work with a hospital that has 15 plus techs for their 3 doctors, and they're crushing it. Totally. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I know a lot of docs that have 1 tech, and the 2 of them are just together, and they just roll on through the day, and you go, there's something awesome about that. So anyway, guys, that's it. I've sort of gone on long enough as far as what to look for in a new job. If you have other questions, let me know in the comments. I am enjoying doing this stuff. I love talking with you guys. Let's do it again. But anyway, the takeaway from me, find a job that makes you happy. Find a job where you're appreciated. Remember that it's a 1-year agreement, and you're not getting married. This is not till death do us part. You're gonna go. You're gonna work hard. You're gonna be proud of the work you do. You're gonna protect your reputation, and then if it's not working out, you can go do something else. No hard feelings, but you're gonna go on. And so just remember, like, you are the captain of the ship that is your career and your life. And so yeah, go do what makes you happy. But find good people, find a culture that works for you, find a place that you're going to be appreciated and respected, and that's it. And then just dig in and be part of it. That's all right. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a wonderful Friday. I will talk to you guys later on. Bye.